This is something that when I coach women leaders, I get often that in a room where there are more men than women, what would you tell women when they get into rooms like this, where they are in a minority, their confidence is not 100%, and thereby their competence is somewhere doubted? So, what would you like to tell them?
And unfortunately, for the larger audience in that room, I was not that woman who was silent. For to their surprise, actually, not unfortunately, but I think to the surprise, this was one woman very early. Actually, I was called a girl back then, not even a woman for that matter. Didn't stay quiet. I would say one, don't think of yourself as minority because you're not there because you're a woman. You are there because you're a working professional. You are there because you add value to this conversation. So you've been invited in the room because of that, not because you're a woman. So one is remove that lens of being a woman in that room vis-a-vis being a professional in that room. So that would be my number one thing. The second thing I've realized over, and this has taken a lot of learning to me myself, is to say people will see me the way I see myself. So if I see myself as someone who's confident, if I myself am sure of my capabilities, I don't think anyone around me would question it, right? So those are the two things that I kept in mind, at least personally, that's what driven me to do what I've done so far.
And another thing that I hear is assertion is seen as being aggressive for a lot of women, while it's not the same with men. Is that something that you have noticed? Clearly, you've had a very nice set of mentors around you. But what is it that women need to do in order to come across as assertive and not aggressive?
I think do what you do. I would not change a thing about how women are assertive. I think it's about the mindset of the person, about tagging your assertiveness as aggressiveness. Because we all know if the same behavior was demonstrated by a man, it would not be
Yeah,
called aggressiveness, right?
yeah, yeah.
Unfortunately, our views at how work is done or should be done are based on how men have done it so far.
Exactly.
Uh, what you will realize actually is women are very less assertive. They are more empathetic, more tuned to, they can read a room much better than our male counterparts. We can put across a message in a more nicer way. I do I'm
Mhm.
short of words here, but just to say that they can put it in a way that is understandable by the larger audience much better than how our male counterparts possibly would have been able to so far. I know that the world is changing and our male counterparts have also learned this over a period of time. But I one don't think women are aggressive generally. And honestly, if you are being aggressive, I'm sure you have a damn good reason to be aggressive. I'm sure that it comes from a place where you've been pushed in a corner and don't see any other option but being aggressive. So I would say go ahead, girl. Don't let anything stop you.
So, over the years, from the time you entered the industry to what it is today, have you noticed a shift in the way the room behaves?
In different spaces, yes, but in some spaces, no.
Hmm.
Like even today, if I go to a tier two, tier three city, work of one of our offices or plants, I still see the same. Some women are still the only in their team, some are still the only in their in a meeting. I still see some of those similar. I still see some men exuding uh, behaviors that are not inclusive or are not in line with the future of work. Uh, and I understand all of them, fortunately. Like I said, just growing up with a lot of boys around me, my worldview was framed differently, but I was also a very observant child. So I knew that while I did not behave the way girls were supposed to or were expected to behave, there was an expectation.
Hmm.
I fortunately was a little, like I said, spoiled in the sense where I was given the freedom to not cage myself in those expectations. I still see those expectations at work. I still see expectations when I visit somewhere where people would have it from me. Um, has it changed? Definitely, yes. Now I have more women I can look up to.
Yeah.
Now I have more women I can talk to. Now I have more women I can mentor as well, which at that point, 10 years back, wasn't the way it is, right?
Yeah.
Uh, so a lot is changing, and I see a lot of male allies also coming up. Let's be very kind to
Correct. Yeah.
the ecosystem that we have been able to build. And I recently heard someone saying that we have raised a generation of empowered girls to become women. It's time we raise a generation of empowered boys, uh, because that's where the gap really was. And I see that difference today when I see moms raising boys. I do see a difference in how they are creating their worldviews. I see how fathers now behave, especially when they have daughters, and they come to the workspace and they now realize, oh, my daughter will enter the workforce 20 years from now. I better start making changes today.